last time we talked about a couple of PRs. We talked about this DSCP setting and the fact that the tests weren't passing, and so we talked about expanding this in the HLD, and we talked about adding this to the packet flow draft by Riff. So we had that one, and then we also have kind of influx this inbound pipeline model draft that we're working on. So in project board last week, we finished these two, the service tunnel inbound processing. So I'll just mark that as done. And this other one about NVGRE parsing and done. So moved those. And I hadn't checked for anything new quite yet. Let me take a look in the queue. And so, yeah. So I don't really see anything new from the last couple of weeks here, except for Sod. Did you want to talk about your Python model at all this week? It's been a few weeks. Sod, you're on mute.
Yes, no, I actually didn't get the chance to make progress on that. For last couple of weeks, we had some other things. We'll get to that soon. Sorry.
No rush. No rush. Just wanted to check, see if that's why you came onto the call today. And then these are the two we have here. I don't know if we have Marian on the call. I don't see him. But this one was really just, what was this one waiting for?
Yeah, they are just minor comments. My comment. Yeah.
Yeah. Just call it tunnel DSCP mode. Yeah.
Right. Just like, because things can be redundant anyway.
Yep. I guess we'll wait for Marianne on this one. And this one, Riff, we still, this one's still in draft mode, the pipeline packet flow proposal.
Right. And if anyone has comments, please let me know. Yep.
Let's see if there were any more comments.
Yeah, I think I follow this one very closely. I'm not seeing any comments that I haven't replied yet.
Right. 2 weeks ago was the last one. So we're thinking, give it, it's okay to leave this open though, isn't it? Or did you have a time frame where you wanted to wait until?
Not right now. So we can leave this one open.
Okay.
Yeah, just get the feedbacks. Yeah, and last week is LCP week, so no comment is actually expected.
Yeah, I didn't either. For sure. It was an easy week for me last week, believe me.
Oh yeah, the children meeting week.
Yeah, and I know, Andy, we don't usually have a ton, Andy and Naren, we don't have a ton of updates on this one usually, but it's been a few weeks, so I thought I would check back about these. You had mentioned having a dash blocker tag. Yeah, tag here. So I haven't seen anything come through. Yeah, I hadn't seen anything come through. So same status.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just in general, the DPDK work by Intel employees is not high effort at the moment. It's not zero effort, but it's not high effort. So it's a best effort right now.
Okay, great. And then this one, I know we needed Marian for this one, unless Sasha might know, just because you're, not that you would know, but you're at the same company. This one was just a line that needed to be edited in BMV2. Sasha, would you happen to know?
No, we need to check this with Marianne, as it is work that was done by him.
Still need to check. Okay, alrighty. And is Camille here on the phone? I don't see Camille. Why dash? Oh yeah, this is where multiple objects were created. One SI API call should not create 5 different SI objects. Bug. This looks like a bug. Yep. I was curious, instead of relying just on Marian, would anyone else know, would I need to attend the SI project call I could attend that and maybe ask about this there? Would you guys point me in that direction?
Well, this is kind of a Dash specific bug, right? We're just using SI to express the interface, but the back end for the implementation of Dash is doing this. It's nothing to do with side behavior per se.
Okay. Okay. So I will follow up then. Okay, and that's what I have on the project board and new things this week, I believe. Yep. So I'll open it up to you guys. Do you guys have anything this week or anything you wanted to talk about?
One interesting thing I'm thinking is, and this probably goes to John, is that I'm seeing like one SICOM paper that this year coming from Intel. Is using the P4, it's called P4 test gen. So basically it is looks to be a advanced how you say like advanced implementation of the P4 packaging, because it has like better the features. So I'm wondering like if we could look into using the P4 test gen to actually create some test cases on top of like Dash. So that would be great.
Actually, thanks for that, Riff. There's actually, there was an issue opened by Fabian Ruffy, who created that program, and he ran he compiled the Dash code using P4 test gen and found some dead code, and there was already quite a discussion on that. And I'm going to share the link of that issue, which we closed. So he's actually using Dash as kind of a test case. Now, that's not answering the question of can we use it ourselves in production. I don't think it's quite ready to do that, but I think at some point we might want to incorporate that. He has another program called Flay, which he was working on, which might also be useful. So we're kind of have a background conversation on that. And I just pasted issue 408, closed issue, where that discussion originated. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. That's not it. Let me get the right one. 399.
Proofy. Yep, I remember.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. So this one is found by the P4 test gen.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're having, kind of like a long term, and Andy's in the conversation too. We sort of incubating this a little bit.
It's great.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, please, John. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I mean, P4 test gens, I would say its strength and reason for being is to automatically generate test cases in hopes of finding bugs in a P4 compiler implementation or the runtime API implementation. It's not intended to do things like create the hero test or stress tests or deep functional tests. So it does have a use case for anything involving P4 development, but it's more focused on finding bugs in the implementation than it is in finding functional bugs in your it doesn't have any independent specification of what your P program you'd like it to do. It takes whatever your P program is written as the gospel of what it should do.
Right. It doesn't know it doesn't know your intentions at all. It just finds things that it can deduce and throw stuff at it and see what breaks. Right. It's kind of almost, you could almost think of it as a like a random test case generator that you didn't even know these test cases existed. That's one way of looking at it.
But it does try to create full branch coverage and full parser coverage.
Yes, so that's the thing I'm trying to look for, because like there could be like corner cases with like missing with manual written test. So I'm thinking about like maybe just using like we can manually write test and to make making sure like the program actually works on a high level, or but there could be cases that is missing, and then we can use this one to actually have the better coverage, so to enrich the test suite. So that would be saving a lot of like manual effort. So yeah,
It's useful for what it does, but it will not replace writing functional tests.
of course. Yep, I totally agree. Yep. So first step, still writing functional tests manually, making sure it actually works, and then using this one to say, okay, let's assume the model actually is right. Then let's create more test cases to actually have a better coverage or find more issues. Yeah.
So his comment here about what it supports is pretty much what it does here and here. And then these are the limitations. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Thanks for the pointer, Chris. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and then he's apparently he's working on a different tool. That's awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just for general interest, also I've been having discussions with another person who works with Intel. His name is Jamal Salim, and he's done a number of presentations on something called P4TC, or traffic control. Basically, it's, in a nutshell, you could run P4 programs with an engine that's built into the Linux kernel. And this has been long in coming, and he's done presentations on it in various forums, including P4 workshops. And it's getting closer and closer to being upstreamed into Linux kernel. And this is it's kind of a long play. It takes a long time to get things into the Linux kernel, and it takes even longer for them to make it out into production where people can use it. But I don't know, maybe a year from now, we'll be able to consider using it as a backend for Dash as well, as an alternative to P4DPDK. It's yet another backend. And that is very exciting because, if it's built into the kernel, imagine the possibilities that P4 can run in the kernel. So he and
Chris,
I did a conversation.
Do you happen to know the difference between the P4TC? Because I haven't checked it out. And the people can actually compile into the eBPF, which also runs with the eBPF TC hook. So do you happen to know what's the difference between them?
I don't want to try to do injustice to it by trying to explain it, but in fact, one of the recent enhancements to P4TC was being able to, let's say, use eBPF to, I think, extend it. But that's not really answering your question. I think it'd be better to look at his slides, and they were at the P4 workshop. They're probably online. He's done a number of presentations, which you can find. But I think that's long-term very interesting because, you could do some fairly performant, backends, and yes, yet another alternative to BMB2. Right? So I'm really interested in seeing that curated. Andy knows a lot about that too, because I think he hosted a P4 open source developer days meeting where Jamal presented this. Am I correct in that?
I don't recall if we had one of those, but I mean, I can say very briefly, one of the reasons the P4TC project was created is to have Linux standard APIs for specifying a P4 program and having it offloaded into SmartNIC with appropriate, driver support from the SmartNIC vendor. But it is also able to take the same P programs and run, basically translate them eBPF and run them in the Linux kernel. But that wasn't I don't think that was the original reason it was created, but that's another thing that it can do. But the origin of the project is, to offload it into hardware.
I see. Then would be interesting to see. Yeah, because I know that there is one like offload to the SONiC is actually based on XDP, it's not based on TC. But yep, I'll check it out. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Sorry, I was just checking ChatGPT while we were talking. It's not that smart.
You probably knew, so the knowledge is probably cut.
It apologized.
If you know enough on the subject matter, you know where to insert the knots or remove the knots from ChatGPT's answer sometimes.
Yeah.
Jailbreak.
Okay. Yeah, we're jailbreaking ChatGPT. Okay. All right. No, that's actually a great question. Thanks, Riff. Anyone else have something for today on the call then? Oh, hey, Marian. I saw that you joined. We were just talking about Froofies from Intel, his issue that we closed about his testing. This one here, the test that he right here, the P4 test gen. Seeing if we could use it in the future. For years, I guess we were a little curious about this one, Marian, the libsci one. Not sure if you were out. You've been out, so we weren't sure if you had a chance to look at this one about the line of code.
No, not yet. There's still 2 pull requests in my pipeline until I get to this one.
Okie doke. Okay, great. Yep. And oh, and then this one too. Same thing. Then the bug about the 5 objects being created in the back end. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Yeah, and so that's what I have for tomorrow. We also went through the new PRs and the new issues. Since you just joined, did you have anything new, Marian, that you wanted to talk about?
No, not for today.
Okay, great. So anyone else? AMD team or Keysight team, Excite Labs?
Hey, Christina, this is Bud.
Yeah. Hey.
I was going to add a comment, but maybe I'll just ask Riff right now,
Sure.
just to clarify if you could.
Uh-huh.
So I had asked the question in that PR a few weeks ago about the
406.
The double tunnel decap, and I think the resolution of it is that there's going to be a global configuration knob that says how many tunnel decapsulations maximum we should do. And so if a packet comes in and it has 2 tunnel encaps and the maximum decap is set to 1, then we only decap the first one. But if the maximum decap is set to 2, we decap both of them.
So I actually updated the doc to put the maximum number over there. So we are looking at only maximum 2. So it's just easy, and there is no knobs right now. It's just like, okay, maximum 2. Please also expect 2, but that's it.
So what happens if a customer has a VM and they themselves create a tunnel?
So there is one table we could use, but I'm not thinking about like all through. There is one VNI table that we can actually specify which VNI goes to like which pipeline. So we can use that one to say, okay, if you if it's not inside of the VNI table, or it is something like certain specific VNIs, please like don't parse more. But the thing is that it all depends on the parser. Say if you have a people program, right, and the parser, there's no way you can dynamically change that. It's mostly like a state machine. You just like parse all the way. So the thing is that if we how we could actually create a mechanism that allow us to dynamically change the parser, and also can be implemented by people. So that is not that straightforward or easy to do, in my understanding. Which is why, like, I'm not looking at any global knobs. Just like, okay, two at maximum is static value, so we can easily implement the parser. Yeah, but does that make sense? I guess for the customer defined package, we'll have to think more on that. But here's how we stop the parser. But that's basically where the problem is.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm not trying to like dump this on you or say we need a resolution like right now, but it sounds like we don't really have a real like resolution. I mean, like customers do have their own tunnels in the cloud, right? So
yeah,
if you just say
totally
always
agree
decap
with
2 tunnels, then
yeah, I totally agree with that. So that's something we definitely should solve. And I really appreciate the comment. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not feeling any pressure. So it's actually something like we definitely need to solve. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Something very interesting to think
yeah.
about as well. Yeah. But yeah, feel free to think with me offline. If you have any questions or just leave the comment. Yeah, it's all great.
Okay. Very cool.
Yep. Cool.
I had not read all of this. This is actually really interesting. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Riff. I'm not sure if anyone else on the call had seen this either. But yeah. Anyone else have an opinion on how the pipeline should do this or how this should be done? I guess if you do, talk with Riff.
Yeah. Another thing I'm thinking is that, there is a Python implementation and the kind of a little bit more flexible thing. But but on the other side is that the P4 is kind of like a well-established model. So I'm not saying like Python implementation is bad. I'm just saying that when we map it to the real hardwares, like P4 is probably more is like a guard, right? It's more generically applicable. So yeah, so that's the thing. I think we need to figure out like how to actually make the parser stop at a certain moment.
Sorry, I don't have a note taker. Yeah, really interesting. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Okay, I'm going to read through this after the call, actually. Thank you. Then I guess it's tough to do that 7-second rule, but I guess I can let you go for the extra half hour of the day. So if you have anything for me for next time, let me know and I'll stop the recording.